Hello guys and welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be talking a little bit about Tkinter in Python. We're going to be making a user interface and we're going to be storing our register data into our text file. Alright, right here we have our users.txt which accepts our input. And then we have clear users.bat, which you don't have to have this, but it is if you want to just clear out your file right here to be as good as new and delete all the users. And we have our register system right here, which I'm going to display how it works right now. All right, so let's run it. And now let's add some users. So let's add a user called Adam Smith, for example. And now let's add John Smith, for example. And let's add Thomas Shelby. Alright, so now we've registered these users. One more thing that I want to show you is if we fill out our username only, so will, and leave the last name empty, it's not going to register it. So let me show you what we got. If we look in our text file, right here we have them nicely aligned, all one next to each other. Now if we rerun the program again and register another person, take a look in our text file. As you can tell, everything looks tidy. So that's pretty good. Let me show you how this whole program actually works. So let's edit it with idle. We actually don't need this. So first thing we're doing is we're from Tkinter importing everything. So then we're defining an empty list right here. You can probably do this the smarter way, but this is just my way. And then we have our function that we're going to run on a click of a button, and it's going to gather everything that is in the forms that we fill out. So like the two forms that we have are first name and the last name, and they're deployed right here on entry. So we will come back to that. So let's go up right here to our function. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our stuff from our form. So this function runs on a click of a button and then gets the first name from the form, and this first name is defined right here. It is a string var, and then user inputs text right here, and then we're getting from whatever in that form is. And then right here we're getting the other form last name as well. And right here we have an if statement. If it's empty, we're going to say no name entered for the name. And if it's empty for the last name, we're going to say no last name entered. And we're going to return and not quit, because if you quit, you quit the full program. And like this, you just return back to our main loop, which loops the Tkinter interface. And then right here, I'm explaining everything so I can copy paste the code on my website. And right here, we are reorganizing our data so it looks nicer. We're using this variable right here to define how we want this to be stored, and this is how we want it to be stored. We are appending it to the list, and then we are writing. So now we're just making this converter thing, and we're printing out this user has just been registered. And then right here we are opening our file as in A, which pretty much means append or something like that. It's not going to touch previous stuff, it's just going to add a new row of entries. So for example, this one. And we're using our converted thing, and we're writing it nicely into our file. And then we're closing our file. And then after that, we're making sure that our forms are empty after we submit the data, so we can enter more data, so it looks nicer. So after we press the button, it's going to clear out. And now we're deploying the screen, and we're setting the resolution of the screen 500 to 500 and a title, this one. So the difference between this title right here and this text right here, which is heading, is in HTML, for example, this will be H1, and this upper thing will be title in HTML. So what this means is basically this right here is going to write here, and then this right here is going to be written inside of this box. And it's going to be like a title. And then we're giving some attributes to it, like the background color and the width and the height. And then we were using pack to deploy all of this instead of place, like we're going to use here. So what you're doing mostly is just making your thing and then giving it some attributes or whatever you want, and then you're placing them wherever you want. And then we have these first name and the last name I was talking about, which were empty at the beginning. And we're defining what type of data is it gonna accept through the Tkinter interface. And then right here we're making our form boxes, and then we're placing them, and the same thing goes with the button. So how does this work? On button click, you run the function, and everything you filled in side of this. Okay, let me show you. So everything you fill in right here, everything you filled in right here is going to stay until we clear it out. And we're clearing it out inside the function at the end. So what this means is once the function runs, all of this is going to stand here, and then we're going to pick it up. Right, we're picking it up right here and checking and doing our operations and writing them inside of our file. And then after all of that, it's clearing. But as you press the button, all of this happens so fast you don't even see it. Now let's register Ron Swanson, and let's close this off. So these users have been registered, and here they are. Right, so this is a really simple, and we can clear them up again. There you go. And this is a really simple program that I just wanted to show you how you can work with Tkinter, make a simple interface. This is around 70 lines of code, and it's simple to make. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.